It's back. The Champions League is back. The third game of our Champions League adventure this season, our second one at home, joined by familiar faces of Duncan and Michael, and this time it's the yellow ball. They're coming to Tyneside. Now, this is a question for you both. Are Dortmund the side that they were maybe a few seasons ago, where they were maybe a team that you maybe feared?
No, not quite. I think the Dortmund fans would say they're not quite the team that they were. So I think they're a team in transition, aren't they? So...
Yeah, but they've got some youngsters, but they've got Matt Hummels and stuff like that, where you're looking and you're going,
exactly, yeah.
How old are you? Like 42 now?
Yeah, it makes Ashley Young look young. Yeah, I mean, they're not doing too bad, are they, in their league? I mean, they're fourth, aren't they? And they haven't lost this season. So, and the Champions League.
It's a German league, though.
I know. I don't want to be, don't say it's just the Scottish league with a few more teams thrown in, but which is actually
it's better than League One.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
The French Mark was,
and probably maybe Serie A. I would probably say as well. I would say Bundesliga is probably a step above Serie A as well.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I think you'd go Premier League, La Liga, Bundesliga, Serie A, League One.
No, actually, I put Serie A's
Championship. I think is above some of those as well.
Ooh,
our Championship.
Duncan's gone early. Wow.
I wasn't.
No, I mean, I do kind of agree with that being detrimental to them. I mean, there is only about 3 teams that usually fight out in the Bundesliga, aren't there? They're, like I said, they're fourth at the moment, and they haven't lost.
I was going to say, I think they're.
Well, just while we're in there, we'll just bring up their last 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
which, just in case you don't know off those logos, 1-0 win against Werder Bremen.
Yeah, that's the last one.
4-2 win FC Union Berlin. Obviously, the 0-0 draw with AC Milan, which is what happened when we beat PSG, which got us even more excited because we're like, great, we're now really in front. Obviously, a 3-1 win away to Hoffenheim, and then a 1-0 win over Wolfsburg.
Yeah.
But similarly, if we look here, both teams going into it, on the back of basically no defeats and winning 4 games out of the 5. Obviously the 2-2 draw against West Ham. I'm going to take it, given like I said.
I mean, they're proper teams, though. Look at those. Look at that.
Well,
and Burnley,
which
was just dire, wasn't it? I mean, Jesus. I mean, fancy once in them all week. It's every week. Dear, oh dear. But like Dunk said, I mean, Man City, Paris Saint-Germain, I mean, God dear.
Well, again, like I said, it was a Palace side that was defensively got one of the better records in the league, and then at half time we were like, not anymore.
Yeah. I mean,
talking about records in the league.
Fuck. Oh dear. I mean, Dortmund must look at that and go, wow.
First for goals scored, first for expected goals, first for shots on target inside the box, first for shot conversion rate, and first for big chances scored.
What a time! I mean,
when I'm looking at my fantasy football team, I wish
on the night that he's meeting his older reincarnation, Mr. Kevin Keegan, Eddie Howe's. Eddie's entertaining us.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah.
I said that about us when we played Villa, because we weren't open like the Keegan's thing, but it was so back and forth. It was so entertaining that first game. It really was like being back in the day. I said that at the time. So but we defend better, slightly better. But we were pushing and they were pushing, and it really is. I think we're living in a real golden age at the moment.
Well, real golden age. I do, and I think, like I said, we don't really have a star player. In a sense, there's no sort of like big galactical, is that?
Yeah.
Which is what people want to call it. It's just players working together. One name I'm actually just gonna pick out, when you just mentioned defensively, is Jamal Lascelles. We haven't lost a game with him at the back there.
No.
I think he's been solid when he's come in. Yeah. He had to start against PSG. I think he started against Man City. So
cold as well. I mean, if he hasn't, I know he played a couple of times last year, but
but I think it's on there. I still think Fabian Shaw in that PSG game was just unreal. And again, what I loved the fact is that he was closing down the ball, and then towards the 90th minute, as the extra time was being added on, he was up the pitch closing down to score his goal. And he went on a couple of runs on Saturday, quite similar in that. It's as if he gets bored and goes, I'll be back soon, and then off he goes.
Yeah.
But no, it is, and I do agree with the back line. Even Dan Burn, is shown himself to be going into his position. One player which I am going to pick out just for Saturday, and that's Jacob Murphy. He was, I joked on, I said at the beginning, it's going to be a Jacob Murphy masterclass. Little did we know, but he honestly, his passes, his crosses in the box, and it was that's probably the best game I've seen Jacob Murphy play for a long, long time. It was just unreal. The link up that Sean Longstaff and Trippier had down the right, Palace just couldn't cope.
No.
And fingers crossed, if something similar to that, because I know Miggy, Trippier and Longstaff have a similar sort of working together as well. So if you can get that sort of link working together both on the right and the left, it's going to be unstoppable. Again, Anthony Gordon, he just makes a difference when he comes into the side. I think he even said in his interview, I had to make up for the one I missed, which it was, because that one was a sitter by him.
Yeah.
We were looking at him 2-0. Oh, no.
And I actually been right in front of you, wasn't it? So
yeah. Well, that was the other thing. I was I was a bit sort of booing Palace when they decided to switch over in the first half. I'm no, we run down in the second half, and I'm well, no, let them run down in the second half, where you can just bring on Miggy and that. When Jacob gets tired or whatever, we'll just bring those players on. But no, it's just one of those things. It's just something that we need to get used to.
I mean, the thing is, also we had four. I should have looked it up. 4 English goal scorers on Saturday. So
we did.
I wonder what the last side did that was.
Yeah, it's like the 8-0 over Sheffield United. It was 8 different scorers.
Yeah,
and again 4-0 against Palace, 4 different scorers. I think our goal scoring chart is Mark's
he's gone.
I've got to hold the fort here now.
Go on. We can manage.
I think our goal scoring chart, I think Trippier's got 2 goals as well. It goes all the way through the team. So
I mean, they must look at
the expansive football that they're playing at the moment.
They must look at it and think, novelty, well, we'll just obviously watch for this and watch for that. I mean, what do you do when you're thinking, Jesus, any of that team can score?
Yeah,
any of them, and well, watch Trippier for his assists, and but then again, watch Gordon for his assists, and what do they do? I mean, they must be. I mean, they must be thinking that they've got a real, struggle on their hands.
The thing is as well, we need that. You think, Tonali imminently is going to get banned for at least 12 months.
Yeah,
so that's 55 million wasted. The lad Harvey Barnes, long-term injury, that's another 40 million wasted. So Newcastle spent over 110 million on players that are no longer available to us. So you need players like Jacob Murphy,
and he didn't show. On Saturday, he didn't show. I mean, no. I mean, all the things that Eddie said about Tonali, I'm sure his head must be all over the place. Really, it must be. And I mean, it was very well played by Eddie, I think, to bring him on for a little bit and then let him have his ovation if you want, which is obviously.
I think, yeah, technically that was his last game for 2 seasons now, isn't it? Which is,
yeah.
When you think about it, it's ridiculous. Like, I know it's probably a different podcast to talk about that, but like Paul Merson said things like, banning people. You can get arrested for drink driving, crash a car, and still play football. But you put a bet on football, you get a 2-year ban at 23 years old. Like there's something.
But I think the problem.
About that.
The problem with it is because it brings into the integrity of the game, doesn't it? That's the problem with it.
It's about match fixing. I totally understand that.
That's the only thing. It's a deterrent, isn't it? It's to stop them doing it. So it does seem harsh, especially if you've got a problem with it. So, but yeah, I can see why you got to keep the integrity of the game. And unfortunately, of all the things he can bet on, he could bet on anything. Why
could bet on horses? 100%. But do you not think it would be better to say, look, you're getting a 2-month ban. Your 2 months of wages will go to a betting rehabilitation charity, and you have to go through 2 months of rehab, rather than saying you get paid full salary. You get the 2-year ban. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, say to him, you're getting a 2-month ban, but all your salary, your 150 grand a week, has to go to a rehabilitation, betting, gambling, addiction charity.
Yeah.
And you just get a 2-month ban. That's
Simon Jordan made a good point today. So why don't they have like things where they can put into contracts, if you do this, like they're not allowed to go water skiing.
Contracts,
like put it in. You are not allowed to do this, and if you do, these are the. But anyway, we've got off track, haven't we? But he's back. So
he's back. He looks like you're on the phone now, Mark.
Yeah,
I am. I've had to go onto the phone because the PC's decided to freezing us. I'm calling them some shenanigans on that. I think the Dortmund fans are just trying to.
They're infiltrating us. We were just saying, if you didn't hear us, we were just saying about the who do they try and stop? We're having so many different goal scorers. That's why we got into Tonali. So because we're saying So I mean, 8 different goal scorers against Sheffield United and 4. And I mean, they must be thinking, oh crap, and they've got us lot to face as well. So there he is. I mean, also the thing with that is, one thing is, people saying, oh, like giving him an ovation. I mean, when we make mistakes, your friends might find out, your family. I mean, he's had his pants pulled down in front of the entire football world. That can't be easy. It's simple as that. People say, no, we shouldn't. They gave him a standing ovation. Why? Well, we've got to protect our own. Don't worry about what we're doing. Palace fans.
Yeah, but we're also giving the player going off the pitch a standing ovation as well. Yeah, which I think was Bruno. So we're giving Bruno a standing ovation, and then all we were doing was just telling Sandro Tonali, look, you've admitted you've got an addiction. Unlike what other fans might want us to do is just cast you away. We're not going to do that. We're going to support you. We're going to show you that we support you. Because, whether or not, people say, Paul Merson, I don't know whether or not you've watched the video clip from Sky Sports, but I do recommend you go and watch it.
Because
he even said, look, out of the drink, drugs, and gambling, the gambling addiction was the hardest for him.
Guys, wow. So what I just said to Mike when you were off was, you can, like, let's just name Jack Grealish. You can be pissed up, drive your Range Rover into a load of cars down the street, and still play on a Saturday. No recompense. But you stick a €50 bet on your own team, you 2-year ban at 23 years old. It's wrong. What they should be doing is saying 2 months out, all your salary goes to a gambling charity, and then you come back in 2 months and learn your lesson and be an example to other people to say, look, it's insider trading. That's the only reason you can't do it. It's got nothing to do with gambling. Because that's the other thing. People are going, it's an illness. It says he can gamble on whatever the fuck he wants. You just can't do football. It's insider trading.
No.
So gamble your life away.
You're not doing any sports at all.
No. So even if you want to put a bet on let's say the American Hockey League or baseball or whatever, you can't do it. You physically can't bet on anything sports related.
Which is why I suppose allegedly he used an illegal way of doing it, didn't he, as well? Which is another thing the Italians.
But the other thing which you look
allegedly,
at
I said I don't know.
He bet on AC Milan to win. nothing else on AC Milan. But I'm like, well, it's not like what Tony was doing.
Spot betting.
I'm going to bet that I'm going to get us
what we've
corner in the 55th minute.
What we've got to take into account as well with the Italians, don't forget, he's an Italian player on an Italian team. Is they had a lot of trouble with match fixing. I mean, you look at Juventus. So they are a bit itchy about that sort of thing. They are a bit, sore about it as well, which explains a lot of way. I mean, it's not done us any good, but you can understand why they're a bit touchy about.
But then why should you're on about punishing? But you're punishing the club. Why should Newcastle be punished by not having the services of?
That's another thing, isn't it?
Player for something that's done through AC Milan
because he was in.
That's what I'm saying. It needs to be.
But in that case,
it needs to be looked at because
Milan
the punishment doesn't fit the
cover
crime.
his wages because these offences happened.
Yeah,
under AC Milan's watch, they didn't. You should have known what was happening with your player.
Yeah, well, this is what I said to Duncan while you were off. Is that there should be something in their contracts, so like this happens, for this sort of thing. You can't do this, and we will do this to you if we find out this, etc., etc. I mean, maybe they do have the. I can see why the Italians are a bit. It's a touchy subject with them because it goes back to them, Juventus match fixing and all that sort of thing. So,
loads of teams do it in Italy.
Yeah,
but
I think it's rife over
but
there.
Only Juventus that I think have been caught doing it,
relegated, But Lazio,
so far.
But moving away from
anyway, we got sidetracked.
It's another podcast, I think.
Yeah, that is another one, isn't it?
There is rumours that Newcastle United are going to get a new coach.
Oh, nice.
I saw this.
Oh, nice!
Look at that. This is where the money should be spent.
Very nice.
That's not got anything to do with fair players. It would spend.
No, but it's like why not tart up the bus when you go there? Yeah, Man City do it, Liverpool do it. Yeah. PSG done it, but I think Borussia's done it because I've seen their bus up here. And like, why not do it? Let's have branded bus. Let's show it off and let's go. Yeah, this is who we are.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than sports. Under Ashley, it'd have been like some sort of old crapped out van, wouldn't it? Basically,
it's
like a school.
Well, it was the minibuses in York.
Yeah, well. Exactly. Oh God, yeah, that I forgot about that. Well, there you go then. So yeah, it's just a little bit. It shows a bit of class, isn't it? Something like that.
Exactly. Even saying that though, if we're talking about the new one, it's even Amanda and my dad stayed a bit from the Palace scheme. They were like, yeah.
Yeah, I knew tweeted them asking if I could have their ticket.
So we need this week.
Can I have your ticket? Can me and my car have your tickets, please?
It was like, we need to go to Riyadh. When do we do it? Do we do it during the Palace game or the Dortmund game?
Yeah, never thought about that. They just had an international break, haven't they? So it must have been important. It must have been important.
Most likely, I would say most likely it's probably linked to the Snarly thing.
Yeah, how are we going to recoup that 55 million?
Or going to be targeting when it comes to that, and
well, it could
even be along the lines of, are we going to have
Calvin Phillips?
Nah,
100%. They're just going to go, how much do you want? 80 million, done. Bring in Calvin Phillips in January.
No, I wouldn't pay 80 million for Calvin Phillips. I'm sorry.
Well, whatever they say, probably 40 million, but yeah.
100 million got you Declan Rice, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, they will go all in now on Calvin Phillips.
I don't know. Do we? I mean, that's what's saying about when Saturday. We didn't have to now until 70 minutes. We managed fine without him. And don't get me wrong, I know then if something happens to say Longstaff.
But it's the injuries. I'm going to say this. The fact Joe Willock's coming back, but Joe Willock doesn't play in that position.
No.
That realistic. I would say the fact is also, if Tonali's banned, then you've got that position in the squad that you can free up that, out of the 25-man squad. I would actually say, look, Calvin Phillips comes in on loan with an obligation to make it permanent if he starts so many games or something along those lines. I think City might be receptive to that, to be fair. I think they'd be like, well, look, we're not that bothered about him. Yeah, he wants to go. I think, and this is what, and I'll push it back there because people go, no, Calvin Phillips. If we were signing Calvin Phillips of Leeds United under Bielsa, everyone would be going, yeah, get him.
Great signing.
Exactly. And you look at that and you're going, well, this is
Thing is, when he looks at it, is he just going to think, I'm just going to go and sit there, and he's going to be in the same situation because we got Sean Longstaff? I mean, that he's not going to walk into that team. Simple as that. He's not going to he starts definitely. No, I don't think that happens. I mean, so he's sort of caught between: do I stay at City and sit on the bench? Do I go to Newcastle and sit on the bench? So he probably will get more game time hours. I would have thought over the season.
I would say so. Yeah, I would say so.
If I wouldn't drop Sean Longstaff at the moment for Calvin Phillips, and if Southgate had any bloody backbone, you could Sean Longstaff in the team, just give him a try out, but he won't. You could another podcast.
You could have an all English midfield of Sean Longstaff, Calvin Phillips, and Joe Willock,
possibly,
and then an all front three of Callum Wilson, Jacob Murphy, and
Anthony Gordon.
Anthony Gordon, exactly.
How good was he, by the way? Just a little bit of kudos for fucking Anthony Gordon. He was.
Yeah, he's
turned into a different player to last season.
Yeah.
To be fair,
he won bad last season, but this season he's just been
something else. Yeah,
it's fairly decent. I would say England 11.
Well, how is he not in the England team? Like, that is...
Again, that's another podcast, isn't it?
I love Gareth Southgate. Equally, I hate Gareth Southgate.
Eddie's England 11. Nick Pope, Kieran Trippier. Well, we'll do it the other way. Nick Pope, Livramento, Jamal Lascelles, Dan Burn, Kieran Trippier. That's your back line. Midfield, Sean Longstaff. Let's say Calvin Phillips if he joins, and then Joe Willock.
Yeah.
And then Jacob Murphy, Callum Wilson, and Anthony Gordon. And you know what? That's not a bad
legit.
Side.
Yeah.
And stick Hall in as well, just on the bench.
It's not really that bad. But
and Elliot Anderson, but he's Scottish, isn't he? So,
he hasn't decided yet.
Shah, Switzerland are neutral, so we could get Shah in there, surely.
No, he's played,
this is the thing, when you look at it, we were 4-0 up against Crystal Palace, and we brought on a 70 million pound striker, a 60 million pound midfielder.
Yeah,
let's say a 30 million pound defender, and it's just.
When we did that, I got a WhatsApp from a friend who's a massive Palace supporter. And he just said brutes like that. He was just like, oh, thank you.
It's just like when we were like up against Sheffield United and that, and we thought, we'll just bring others on.
Yeah,
we'll bring Isak on, and we'll bring.
That has been brilliant because we've been starved of that for a decade, haven't we? Where we just brought anyone on where we thought, this is
the thing though. But we've now got competition in places like, all right, well we'll bring Livramento on. All right, that's great. Well, okay then, mate. Okay, well Longstaff will start. Okay, well we'll start Murphy. We can bring Mickey on. We can, we can interchange in that, and it's just like great. We've now got a position where we're able to choose.
I just want everyone to start having should like start scaling back Trippier. Can we stop having that conversation? Because he's absolutely the best right back we've ever had.
Oh, yes, but
he's the best right back in the Premier League.
He is getting older, and
I know that
there will be a point where we will need to manage his load, probably maybe over the Christmas period. So I think that's probably where you may see a bit of rotation.
Yeah,
but
not start in front of him if he's fit and ready to go. Absolutely not. And he's just he's unbelievable. His passing is unbelievable. His reading of the game is unbelievable. It is mental that anyone would think, well, maybe we should. No.
Yeah.
Until they cart him off on a stretcher. No.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, we'll look to wrap it up just because I know that Duncan wants to go and watch the Spurs side. Yeah,
the mighty Spurs. My second team.
So what we'll do is we'll just wrap it up and we'll just go with your predictions of what you want. Not what you want, because we'll know what everyone wants. What you think will happen. We'll go with you first, Michael.
3-1 to us. I just can't say anything else. We're just in such a great form at the moment.
You're going to go as far with your goal scorers?
I don't even know who's going to. Yeah, Isak 2. And Miggy again. I mean,
Duncan?
Or Gordon.
Duncan? I'm going to go. I think it's going to be another memorable night. So I think 4-0 again. And I think Isak hat-trick because he used to play for Dortmund. And Jamal Lascelles header.
That would be awesome. Can you imagine the world if we beat him 4-0? The reverberation, like, oh my god!
And it will be 3-0 Isak hat-trick, and then be a corner and Jamal Lascelles knock it away. And then Sven Botman will be going, oh, I've lost my place.
Good game.
Well, fingers crossed. But what was able to say thank you to those who watched. Thank you to Michael and Duncan for joining, and we'll say good night.
Bye.